Good evening, everyone,
Hola. Hello, everyone.
and welcome to Town Square Talk. We have moved to Wednesday evening, so welcome, join for you guys to join us. And my name is Pearl Peng, and
And
here,
I'm Pat Alva-Kraker.
there we go.
I'm
And we
glad
want,
you're here. We're going to have a great talk today. I want to make sure that you have paper and pen, pencil. You may want to take some notes
and some
and
water.
some water, coffee, tea.
Yes, get yourself situated and ready.
Mhm.
And Pat, we got some good information. We'd like to share some news as well.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I would like to really jump in, if you don't mind, because my daughter just passed the board exam. So, the board for radiology technician. And I am
Awesome.
so very excited. This is the first time she did it, and she just passed with flying colors. So,
Yes.
so
Congratulations. That's always a big
proud of her.
accomplishment at the very end to pass that important test and get your
Start
career
that career.
started. You and I were once there, and how
Absolutely.
important those milestones are. So, yes, we celebrate her.
Thank you. Thank you.
Celebrate her.
So, congratulations, Jasmine Jackson. I am
Yay.
so proud of you. All right, Pat, we got quite some um, information going on, but let's start by talking about
Yeah.
Town Square Talk. We
Yep.
started this right in April. Go ahead,
We
please.
did.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we did. It was a brainchild of our energy and wanting to lean in into COVID-19. We were experiencing from both of our sides, of our families, of our colleagues, the different issues and challenges that people were having as entrepreneurs, as professionals, as mothers and fathers, and how we had an opportunity to make a difference by becoming aware of the issues that were around us and leaning in and bringing in subject matter experts to talk about ways to cope, thrive, and really come out on the other end successful. And so
Exactly.
here we are. Since April, we've had speakers. We've had, what, 7 sessions?
Yep. We have definitely had quite some interesting, to say the least, and profoundly impactful in some cases, information that we had shared with our viewers. And Pat and I, as Pat mentioned, started this. And now we wanted to kind of have some time to reflect on what we've done, as well as to kind of share with you some exciting news as what we have planned for you as viewers going forward. Before we do that, Pat, why don't you introduce yourself so that the viewers
Yes,
get to know us more?
exactly, exactly. So, for those who are joining for the first time, I am a consultant, a speaker, and an author. And I work with women entrepreneurs, heart centered women entrepreneurs who have a business in real estate or in IT. And they are looking for their clear path of scaling their business in a way that is aligned with who they are and unfolds with ease and grace. I have an upcoming book called Catherine's Quest, One Woman's Journey to Elation, that is scheduled to be released in the fall. And I do retreats for women, virtual retreats and person to person retreats on self care and in business. And I come from a background of 35 years in IT and 10 years in real estate. And I brought that expertise into my coaching. And it is through my IT career that Pearl and I made a connection because we both have worked with IBM and have that strong business sense
Indeed.
that we have brought to the table and become subject matter experts. So here's my friend Pearl.
All right. Thank you, Pat, for introducing yourself. And I am Pearl Peng, founder and CEO of Benchmark Maven and co-host of Town Square Talk. I work with visionary and authentic C-suite executives, business owners, entrepreneurs, and professionals who are engaged in their personal awakening and are seeking to achieve greater outcomes in their careers and personal lives in some new and perhaps unconventional and innovative ways. Prior to that, I have built a reputation as a top multicultural and multilingual consultant with over 17 years at IBM. And as Pat mentioned, that's how we kind of got connected.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Fortune 500 world for over 25 years, leading work teams, both local and global, solving some of their most complex and toughest business transformation issues, and often related with cultural and employee engagement.
Yes, love it. Love it.
Since
Love it.
year 2000, I accepted the calling to finally become an energy healer and have been teaching yoga qigong for the past 4 years. And you can find more about me and my company Benchmark Maven by visiting my website at benchmarkmaven.com.
And you can find out a little bit more about me by going to majesticcoaching.com.
Perfect. All right, Pat. So let's have some reflection on the past episodes and sessions, shall we?
Yes, yes. So I'm going to share my screen,
Please do.
and we are here. Okay, here we are. So we did start Town Square Talk in April, and in the inception of Town Square Talk, we wanted to focus on health, on career and entrepreneurship, and on wealth. And we brought in subject matter experts in those three areas. And what we'd like to do now is to basically give you a summary or the highlights of these talks and give you a breadth of the experts that we are connected with, and to give you a taste of information and support that you can go and learn more about. And Pearl will be sharing with you how to get these replays at a later time.
Yep.
So what we want to start with is chronologically, we're going to go ahead and start from the health block as we see here.
Mm-hmm.
And Pearl's going to take it away with the summary of our first session.
Right. We had our very first session on the 14th of April. And at that episode, we announced this Town Square Talk. And inside, we also share very fundamental health related technique, which is really about breathing. And since we breathe every day, it is almost something we don't really usually think that it's something we got to work on.
Isn't that the
Yet,
truth?
so many studies and research have shown that the breath work, regulated practice on breathing, has proven to be profoundly impactful positively for our wellness in the on the daily basis. So we can provided a few breathing exercises in that episode. And the first one was pretty simple. It's 4 inhale, pause, and 4 exhale. It's kind of taken from the circular breathing for folks that are practicing instruments, like when you play flute, right? Pat, I believe that was kind of an inspiration from that. And there are several variations on that inhale, 4, inhale, and counting to 4 seconds, pause, and counting to 4, and exhale. We wanted to just bring that particular one out as a good example. And there are 2 more as well. One is what we call the Nadi Shodhanan, which is your alternating nostril breathing. And very much so to help a person who practices on a regular basis to be able to focus. All these three breathing techniques have those benefits, meaning being able to calm the nerves and anxiety and busting the stress and so on. So the third one is what we call the Wim Hof method, which is created by the superhuman, also known as the Iceman, Wim Hof himself. And I practice all three of those on a regular basis, depending on the needs. I would highly recommend you going back to our episode and perhaps just practice them yourself so that you got a taste and got an idea of what they're about. And so you can adapt into your lifestyle and gaining that benefits of the breath work. That's what we
Absolutely.
did.
And it was very simple, right?
Yes.
And they have so many different and so many benefits. And just pick one and practice, and you'll find an overwhelming peace and calm in really learning how to breathe from your belly versus shallow breathing, which many of us do. So
right. As we practice, the neurochemicals started to get engaged, and that's really what it is scientifically. We don't want to get into that too much, but that's actually why we can benefit from breath work. So,
and the reason that we started with the breath work is because many people are experiencing a lot of anxiety because of the unknown. And this was an initial tool to help with the anxiety and bring calmness into everyone's life by just doing one of these exercises.
Yeah, well, or any breath work. Honestly, these are what we showcase, right? So it's the foundation of everything. Like I said, we all breathe. So that is kind of like the foundation that you really can, and it's free. You don't have to pay anybody.
Doesn't cost you anything.
So so please, try them out and maybe even develop your own. And that comes with practice. As the more you practice, right, the better off you become, and then you can play with what works for you the most.
Yes, definitely. The second session that we had was on building your immune system. And because of our concern for building a strong immune system and preventing the onset of COVID-19, we focused on how to build your immune system and the different ways that you can do that. And believe it or not, it's really simple. It is really simple. In this particular episode, we talked about 3 different methods in which you can build your immune system. And the first one was related to supplements that you can take that are easily available over the counter. In fact, these were so popular that most of the stores ran out of supplies of these 3. So olive leaf, actually it's 4, olive leaf, probiotics, vitamin C, and zinc. And to be honest with you, and Pearl, you jump in here, it's really important even to take these on a regular basis, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we have the honor to have our guest speaker, Dr. Lori, to come on and provided all this information. Oh my goodness, that was such an eye-opening episode with Dr. Lori. So please go in and all the
oh my God, it is juicy.
Watch it.
It is a juicy talk, and she poured into us. Yes, so much. So these are just a few of the herbs that she mentioned. There's a lot more on the show that you'd want to go back and take a look at. And then we talked about the foods that are that are right in our refrigerator that would make a big difference in building that immune system. And some of these include garlic, all the colorful foods, the bell peppers, the green leaf, the radishes, all the colorful vegetables that are right inside our refrigerator that
Right.
will make a difference in building our immune system. And of course, fermented foods.
Yeah.
And that includes a number of foods that fall into that category.
Right. This is why we heard about eating the rainbow, right? So
Yes.
yeah, it helps.
Hmm.
Yeah, sometimes we just tend to eat what we favor and
Hmm.
forget to really eat some other colors that
Balance.
would be good for us. So
Mhm.
keep that in mind.
And oregano is also very powerful. So if you just began with your refrigerator and ensuring you have that rainbow of vegetables, you're really on your way to building your immune system. Our immune systems really stops growing at the age of 7.
Mm,
And from that point on, we really need to, step in and take responsibility for our immune systems. And it's the ways that we have put together here are really cost effective and they're easy. They're very
yes.
easy.
Right.
And Dr. Lori is a naturopath and she has her own clinic and she also provides a variety of alternative healing methods
Hmm.
and definitely recommends these to help deal with all the different kinds of flus
Hmm.
and any sickness, any illnesses, disease, if you will.
Hmm.
And you may, come in and connect with her. In fact, Lori is in the Granbury, Texas area, which is just outside of Dallas, Fort Worth, and she can work with you from a
Remotely.
distance.
Yes.
So regardless of where you're calling from or watching the replay, she is available and all her contact information is also there. So she has a number of vibrational medicine techniques that are very powerful. And in fact, I have used one of her wellness machines
Mm,
and it is really very powerful. It can pretty much address any dis-ease, as well, of course, as massage and then infrared light therapy. These are just 3 of the many that you talked about in the episode. So you do have a number of options when
hmm.
it comes to building your immune system. And it's just a matter of picking one option, trying it out, and see if it works, and becoming curious.
Yes, and I do
Becoming
want
curious.
to remind the viewers that Dr. Lori shared with us muscle testing technique in the
Yes.
episode. So please do watch it.
Yes.
It's so simple and it is so helpful to help you decide really which supplement food or what have you is good for you at the
Yeah,
moment. So you
absolutely.
can
Very
test in real
powerful.
time.
Very powerful. And that's a method that both Pearl and I use
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of things
Yes,
outside of just food and supplements. Once you understand the value of muscle testing, it becomes a way of life. And
absolutely.
it's very easy.
Mm.
And it's very easy. And so our next one, it was on, remind me here,
Hypnotherapy.
hypnotherapy. Hypnotherapy.
With Shears Cartier Shank.
Shank. And she's a subject matter expert, has been in the business for a very long time.
It's a
And
certified clinical
yes, sir.
hypnotherapist. Yes.
And she is located in Michigan. And her services are also available via distance.
Mm,
So if you really connect with her when you go listen to her replay, just know that you can work with her regardless of where you're at, where you live.
mm.
And what I love about hypnotherapy is that it is our ability to actually have a conversation and collaborate directly with our subconscious mind. It is one of the fastest ways to experience a change of habits or a personal transformation.
And actually, we had some not so complete understanding of what hypnotherapy was before the show. So thanks to Sheris, we really learned quite a lot
Hmm.
and understanding also her 3 specialties, and of
Absolutely.
which the 2 are, all of them are fascinating,
They
right?
are. Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
starting with the performance breakthrough,
Hmm.
and your emotional issues can be really dealt with, as well as some of the past life things, even. That's so amazing. The past life regression.
Regression.
Yeah. So go
And
ahead.
really, the one of the reasons that we brought her in here
Mm,
is because people are experiencing depression, anxiety, right? Anger and confusion. And
Right.
these are what would fall under the emotional issues,
Hmm.
and Cheris can help you with that.
Right. Especially some of those seem to be lingering around, or no matter what you do, it just didn't seem to resolve.
Mhm.
So those are the things you might want to keep hypnotherapy in mind and
Mhm.
reach out to connect with Cheris and see if
Cheris,
she can
and
help you out.
absolutely, you can have an introductory call, get to know her via a Zoom call,
Hmm.
and see if you're a good match.
That's
And
right.
these are her specialties, and it was a delight having her with us.
Oh,
So
yes.
that's just absolutely wonderful. And then the third one under health was music.
Mm. Mm. Ooh.
Whew,
That
Johnny.
was a session that we had Ms. Johnny Proby,
Hmm.
who came on, and with her two beautiful songs, she's released an inspirational um, singing albums way back in 2005 already. And she's got beautiful, beautiful voice. And the first
Angelic.
thing I learned from that session, Pat, was the difference between therapeutic music and music therapy. So they are quite some genres of the music, and many people resonate with different music. So those are the things that I learned, kind of, opened my eyes. I thought I knew music, right? Who doesn't? Yet, seriously, from that episode, it validated some sort of my personal habits quite a bit. Humming, right, to kind of help myself calming down the anxiety, and just by simple humming can
Hmm.
achieve that. And she called out the sympathetic system, the sympathetic nervous system, which kind of just fires us up to fight or flee.
Fight, flight,
Or
or
right,
freeze, right?
exactly, right.
Fight, flight, or
Or the
freeze.
parasympathetic system that
Hmm.
helps calms us down. And music has that power,
It
especially
really
when you
does.
reach out and adopt the right musics for you. So that was quite some powerful
Yeah.
sessions.
It
And
was a powerful session.
yeah,
And she takes you through a humming exercise. So
yes,
you want to watch that replay. It's an amazing exercise for her to take you through that humming exercise, and an exercise on really connecting with music
yes,
and what it feels like to actually feel it within your body. It's
yes.
pretty powerful.
Oh, it's it was such a pleasure.
Hmm.
So thank you again
Joyful,
for
joyful.
joining
Yes, we enjoyed her. We enjoyed her a lot.
tremendously. Mm,
The next one, as we move over to career and entrepreneurship,
mm,
was on career, on the do's and don'ts about working from home. We found that many professionals, for the very first time, were dealing with what it's like to work at home, around your kids, around your husband, and how there is a sense of discipline, and there is a right way and a wrong way to do it.
mhm.
And what we learned, Pearl and I have been working from home for a very long time. And we took our years of experience and putting this particular session together because collectively we've learned the hard way, and we just got together and said, okay, what lessons have we learned
Mhm.
that would be of help to those who are just working from home for the very first time? And one of the key ones is the importance of having a schedule, the discipline of waking up and getting basic and going to work in your office at a set time, beginning and ending your day, and ensuring that your family is aware of your schedule. And then being true to the schedule. And then also, what Pearl and I have learned is that it's very easy to come into your office and start working and lose just all track of time,
Mhm.
and how important it is to schedule breaks,
Yes.
get up,
Right.
move around.
And
And one of this, yeah,
have your rituals,
and,
right?
and have a ritual, exactly, have a ritual of what you
Help
do
you
every
anchor.
morning,
Hmm.
and anchor and really
Mm.
ground yourself at the beginning of the day.
Absolutely.
And really take it back if you're around your kids and it's the first time that you're actually have an opportunity to be around them is actually incorporate them into your schedule and take a break. And maybe you go pick up lunch and you take them with you and you just get out and go to the park, go pick up lunch, come back and just enjoy your time with them and just being really mindful of the schedule. Here. We also talked about how important your workspace is, and you wanted to be comfortable. You wanted to be well lit. You want to be able to go into the space that is considered yours, where you have a desk, a very comfortable chair, because you're in it at all times, and have all the supplies that you need in order to get your job done. So what is one of your favorite tips in this area, Pearl?
Oh, geez. You want to have a little video viewing? I remember what we shared during the session. So if you can unshare, I will definitely go for that.
There you go.
Okay, good job. All right, so here we go.
My husband and I have code so that when we have signs, so that if he walks in from being outside, he walks in and he says, so that means, are you talking? And then I'll say yes, and he'll know not to, make noise or ask me questions, and he'll close the door. So, or, so you have some signs that you and your family have agreed to. And so those are the ones that we use. What are some that you use, Pearl?
Well, guess what? I find sometimes having some sort of cards available it really helps. So for example, when you're on the phone, the gesture works. So I use gestures a lot, but sometimes somehow gesture isn't available, or, I wanted to give him the notice ahead of time. I would just leave this on phone note out. So then, he just sees it right away. So having some notes out, is one way to show. And, but sometimes, or, just like, for example, give me 5 minutes, right? I'll be with you. Like, just show that, flash it. But sometimes when the situation is pretty dire, but you still can't get away, and you notice, you kind of pick up this energy and see, right, and being anxious and frustration, and you would just, I would just go, love you. Right. Or just say, sorry.
Yeah.
So it's a way to communicate still when you are just kind of constrained. But then you got to find a way to excuse yourself well. And we're going to get to that on whatever is sort of having you confined or, kind of tie up. You can't address whatever is needing your attention right away, or when you're being interrupted.
Exactly. So we've talked about the importance of schedule and being flexible and setting some rules of engagements or guidelines that is a family agreed to way of communicating time. And how to control really the interruptions, or making sure that they don't happen, is like the signs that we used.
All right.
My husband and I have, right. So yes, we had a lot of fun with that one, because we have gone through all of those, all different kinds of situations with barking dogs, kids, and so forth, and just really
quite
finding.
Fun too.
It was fun.
That checklist.
It is fun. And then the importance of teamwork. If you are used to going into a brick and mortar where you can talk to your teammate right across the cubicle wall, and all of a sudden you've lost that connection, it takes additional effort and energy to continue that level of energy and connection. And so keeping that communication avenue open is really, really important. And it takes maybe more phone calls, maybe more IM messages to really keep that conversation going and really bring each other in and support each other, because you're all in it together.
Right. So for now, check out the episode that is available on YouTube as well. And we'll talk about that a little more later.
So
So
ground
next,
rules are important.
yes,
Very
rules of
important.
engagement.
So now we're going to move into,
Share screen, please.
I'm sorry.
Share screen. Are you sharing your screen?
I have to get back to my screen.
There we go. Coming up
Okay,
next,
so let
we
me go
talk
back
about
to vulnerability. Oh my God.
it
This
was
was an
much,
amazing interview with Wendy Lee.
yes.
And Pearl, jump in on this one.
Oh my goodness. Wendy had brought to the table so much, uh, how should I say this, both masculine and feminine energies for us to pay attention to, knowing and also pointing out what was quite missing, which was more on that feminine energy. We call that vulnerability. And I had quite a different take on vulnerability years ago about being vulnerable as being weak. And I think
Yes.
quite a few folks may have that, whether you're a woman, whether you're a woman or a
Man.
man, right?
Oh man,
Doesn't
yeah.
quite matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yes. So the talk really is about being vulnerable can be advantageous. And the key takeaway that I had really was on how it is a way to show people that you're human.
Yes.
That is not um, that is not a no-no to talk about what makes you vulnerable. And sometimes people dance around too much or even come up with behaviors that is just so distracting as well as sometimes even harmful.
Yeah,
Right?
it's unacceptable.
Yes. So let me go ahead and just share with you this snippet that Wendy has shown us. Just give me 1 second here. I need to make sure I get it all set up right. Here we go. Great
Wendy
advice.
is a life coach. Transformation.
A pattern that we learn from very little.
Mm-hmm.
I act this way and I get rewarded.
Yes.
Right.
The reward is food and shelter and belonging and comfort and love. Who doesn't want that? That's what we're built on. But when we become more conscious and aware, and here's the one thing that I really want to lean in and say to women, particularly women leaders, is that please do this with compassion and love for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You know, like now I say, well, of course you acted that way or responded that way.
Mm.
Until you know, you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Don't beat yourself up about it. Have some understanding and love, just like you would when we started that exercise in the beginning. For those people that you love, that goes to you too.
You know, and that's so interesting that you call that out because we tend to be angry about it, angry at ourselves.
Yeah.
That we didn't see that sooner.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Oh, let me tell you, Pearl, after Pete and repeat, and I was balled up in a corner blaming myself, it wasn't until I really had understanding and was seen and validated and took that in, it was like, wow, now I can have compassion for myself. And that's when that's when it stops. That's when you can change and choose the pattern. And what a novel idea that I can create this life.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. Now it doesn't matter what's going on the outside. There's no longer targets for me to be able to then mirror back and create that, because every day I get up and I'm like, you know what? I want to choose peace and freedom. And
Yes.
this doesn't bring that in, then it's just not for me. a
All
pattern.
right.
Wow. That was absolutely powerful. And Wendy also takes you through an exercise
Absolutely.
in the replay, so you've got to listen.
Mhm.
It is really powerful for professional women. This is one that we all really should take a moment and watch, because
Right.
there can be a shift in just listening to what she has to say.
Right. And that was the reason she created Leadership
Mhm.
Revolution to help professional and entrepreneurial leaders, women leaders. As well, she called out the caution on being
Yeah.
vulnerable. So you got to really check it out and
Yes,
watch the full episode.
it is worth it. And then our last one was on
Mhm.
relationships. And we brought the relationship Jeannie,
Jeannie.
and we brought her in because we found that many families were together 24/7 for the very first time,
Mm,
and a lot of issues are surfacing.
yes.
The little things that you never really notice about your spouse,
Hmm.
all of a sudden you say, "Wow!" You start noticing the habits. You start noticing their little idiosyncrasies,
Right.
and in some cases, they become annoying.
Yes.
Uh, Maybe there's issues on the way you raise the kids. So we thought this was the perfect time to bring in
Yes.
Jeannie. And really there was a sense of loneliness also that we've been learning about couples.
And Jeannie is also a certified high performance coach. So she comes from 25 plus years of helping women with relationship
Mhm.
and their intimate relationship. Now, on top of it, she's also bringing the focus on personal development, on how you can really shift the focus on how do I fix him or how do I fix them, to really developing yourself up,
Yeah,
right?
really.
Yeah, so that was
That's
quite some conversation we had with her.
it is. And she also gives you tips and techniques on how to deal with a, micromanager in your life,
Yeah, a
and
bit more
really just,
aggressive,
yeah.
maybe demanding
And
bosses, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And really her focus is that the work begins in here,
Yes.
is that the
Yes.
change begins in here. And very profound. She teaches some tools also while during the replay that you may want to reach out and learn.
Yes. So
Absolutely.
those are our past episodes.
Yes.
Very
So going forward, let me show
powerful.
you what the second half of the year looks like. Okay. So we're still bringing in
Mhm.
topics that relate to health, career, entrepreneurship, and wealth. And what Pearl and I have been experiencing is an increase in our business, an increase in the projects that we are being pulled and joyfully pulled to work on. And what we decided to do is to still continue to be dedicated to Town Square Talk and move the schedule to where we're having one talk a month.
Starting in
Go,
July.
yeah,
Yes.
starting in July. And we've come up with a slate of topics that we're very excited about.
Absolutely.
And you want to jump in, Pearl?
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, the three categories, especially on health.
Health.
We're going to be spending some time on the various energy healing models, methods that you could probably consider, or at least stay curious and experiment on your own. Come join us, and we'll take you through the different ways of just helping yourself to cultivate your energy, how you bring your energy up, and how you kind of even recognizing your own energy as a start.
Yes,
So that
absolutely.
is really interesting topic, I guess, for quite some folks, and it's been requested. So I'm very, very excited to start the conversation with Had, who is also a healer on energy healing. So we're going to talk
Yes.
about, for example, yoga, qigong, meditation, as well as perhaps even
Reiki,
and
right?
other modality. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So as we all know that we all energy and we are connected in just some very subtle ways that we may not be conscious about. So that is a topic that we totally would like to have you join in and mastermind with us.
Right. And because the reason why we're so passionate about this topic is because we understand that we can heal ourselves.
Absolutely.
And just knowing that you can heal yourself
Mm-hmm.
and in different ways in which that can happen, you just feel more empowered about your health, and you feel you have a sense of control of how you can really start that within yourself.
Just like breathing, right, which is a way of moving the energy, the breath itself is energy. Just like that, it's really a foundation. This whole awareness of your own energy is a foundation of your personal well-being as a start. And once you become more and more aware and start to practice that more consciously, bringing that awareness out more and more so you can master your energy vibration on an ongoing basis. So that was pretty much the goal, but we are definitely going to start a conversation with you. And along with that, we wanted to talk about food.
Yummy. We both love to cook. And
Yes.
we just felt like this, especially in the fall, October is a perfect time to jump in and try different type of recipes, make your life easier with recipes that are easy to do at home and that are nutritious. So yeah, we're going to have a fun.
And what kind of foods kind of bring your energy up or, lower your energy? We all know sugars, no. So that would be a pretty interesting and happy talk. And that's what we're really excited about too on that particular episode.
Yes, that's great. And in December, we are going to bring Carol Lorraine. Her specialty is intuitive art. And it will be a fun exercise on painting mandalas and tapping into your intuition and using that intuition to create a beautiful masterpiece that you will have a lot of fun doing and actually may even want to frame your piece of work. So she has a beautiful energy about her, and she's an artist herself, paints on silk, paints on clothes, and just and on a regular basis has workshops regarding intuitive art. Very good. And then we're jumping into career and entrepreneurship. And we have a friend of mine, Mary Walensky, who is a specialist in book launches. And actually we are on a team together in launching my book. And ever since COVID-19, the in-person book launches and bookstores have really come to a halt. And authors have had to pivot on the way that they want to bring their books out. And this is the conversation we'll be having with Mary, is what are the trends on online book launches for those authors that are out there in the audience, or those who are thinking about becoming an author, and really what the landscape looks like. So join us in for some tips and techniques and the trends in book launches.
Yes, and followed by the captivating photography, talk about having the image captured, images throughout your life, whether it's person, images of people or places, or just very conceptual. All these images definitely can sort of help, as well as document what's important in life. So the award-winning photographer, Marcia Dalgan, will be joining us to share with us how we can create captivating photography to enhance your life. So we were very excited and would love to show. Yeah, love to.
Because we take pictures probably more than we ever have because of the accessibility of the camera on our phone.
Yes.
Right.
Granted, the videos are so much more powerful in a way. Still images are still so much more important as well, especially when we contemplate on something and the images sometimes pop up so much stronger for us.
Yes.
So, yeah.
A picture paints 1,000 words.
To hear all years.
Absolutely. And then we're following it with the new norm in marketing. So much of marketing includes in-person conversation, in-person networking.
Yes.
And because of COVID-19, we're at a point where we have to pivot what our marketing looks like and how do we take advantage of online marketing, online social media, and giving even that a different take so that we stand out more in the marketplace, because now everybody has to be seen through social media and online. Absolutely. Whether you liked it or not, you're pretty much forced to look at one way of really putting yourself out on social media. And so we will have a subject matter expert, Crystal Foster, talk to us about what she's recommending to her clients on really standing out among the crowd.
Yes.
That's exciting. And then after that, we have the Art and Science of Publicity with Jill Lublin, which is a mutual friend of ours.
Yes. And
as much energy as you give to your marketing, which should be really 40% of your time at least should go into marketing, there is an element of publicity that needs to be included in your visibility plan. Jill is a subject matter expert, an award-winning author, and she will bring her expertise to the table. So that's going to be an exciting session too.
Absolutely. And followed by the wealth on the financial wellness. For many of us, we somehow got perhaps hurt, or the income isn't flowing as well as previously. And we're going to have Alex Barron, who's a certified financial expert, to come on and talk about what are the sort of tips or secrets in preparing, how you can prepare to even bring back the earnings that you have, and watching out for the spendings, and also how you can come out with perhaps even new ideas of bringing the revenue streams into your household. So that would be quite some interesting talk, and perhaps you would want to bring in some of your ideas to mastermind with us. So that would be Alex Barron. Looking forward to having him as well.
So we have an exciting slate, and we have so much variety on the second half of the year that you're not going to want to miss it. And so for those that are interested in going in and getting a hold of the replays, where do they go?
All right, so let me share my screen if we could do that. See. So the first place to go is on Facebook, and if you would look or search for Town Square Talk, Town Square being one word and talk being the second. Let's see if I could do this, and making sure this is my Facebook, and just give you a quick view here. And this is the Town Square Talk official page that you see. And you would see the videos here. You can click there directly, or you just keep scrolling down and you would also find it. So right now you should probably see us, which is us going live right now. And going to the video would show you all the videos that are available. Here you can go to YouTube. Actually, YouTube is being served directly here. You don't need to go head on over to YouTube, because these videos are also published on YouTube. And that's why you can also see all these videos nicely organized in a way that you probably are familiar, which is on YouTube. Now, the other way clearly is going onto YouTube and just find Town Square Talk. As I'm showing you right now, and go to our channel. And once again, all the videos are available there. Help. So you keep scrolling down, just find the ones that you're interested in and jump in. And there's a playlist that's created to house all the episodes that can get played. So you can also bookmark that so that it's convenient. It's right there for you. And please subscribe to us so that you can definitely get the notification of future episodes coming out.
Absolutely.
So there you have it, several ways, couple places that we have our past videos. So feel free to dive in and leave us messages if you wish. Any ideas, any thoughts, comments.
Especially ideas. If there's a topic of interest,
yes,
we want to know what that is. When we're open to suggestions, and it's all about empowering you and leaning into having you create a life where you're thriving and you're happy.
Yes.
And yes, you're aligned
Love
with
to hear
what really matters. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So we always like to end our show with a quote.
Boy,
and
yes. Reflection and path forward.
Yes, exactly. This is a wonderful quote from Maya Angelou.
Mm-hmm.
Do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better.
Isn't that so powerful, especially during this COVID-19 time?
Yes.
All of us are trying to figure out what our new normal is about. And guess what? It is so very likely that we don't get it right away. So here we are doing the best we can.
One day at a time. One day at a time. So we want to thank you for those who our listeners who have been with us since April. We really appreciate you. Thank you for supporting this talk show. And for those who are listening to us for the first time, we look forward to having you join our other shows for the second half of the year. And we encourage your participation, your ideas, and we appreciate you.
Very much so. So, Pat, it looks like we are all set with today's show, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Wednesdays now.
Wednesday,
Don't forget, it's not Tuesdays at the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Pacific. So looking forward to having you live with us.
Yes.
And also watching the recording.
Until then.
Yes.
Ciao.
Stay safe and be well.